So, welcome back to the charts. Here's Trader Jan on the 11th of November. We try to make sense of the market today. It is confirming what I said in the market analysis already. This seems to be pretty much a range-bound market today. From a structure, it's like a B, a capital B, or maybe a small b as well, with the volume moving more to the bottom. You could argue it's a long trend overall, but I'm not that much convinced of that one yet. So here in that situation, in this short ranger, we could do range trading here, where we can go like up and down of the range. Not so sure though if that one. So let's dive a little bit into that. So if we consider the short-term trend to be short, and we look at the profile here, let's say from here to here, we clearly have quite a distinct range from here to, let's say, here. And short-term price action, if I look at lower lows, lower highs, lower low, lower high, lower lows, lower high, the market should tend to go back into the range once that's the range is being, so let's say this one here, this one here might be the range, and in case the market goes out of the range, stops somewhere here and then goes back in the range, and then I would try to search for the entry. I would make a limit order right here. Since it's a range market, it's, I guess, can go anywhere. Then I would go out of the trade in the middle, because you never know when it's breaking out of that range. And it is now 8:15, 8:18 American time, so the American market is going online in 12 minutes, so I guess before that I would not risk any trade. Range trading could be as well going out here. Either it's bouncing off that range and then it would go in here, or it's going in and then behind one of those big bars I would go with the limit order in. But as well, I would go out there. So those are the trading opportunities. But with the long as well, I could go out and then bouncing back from the range and could go in. I could go away. So those are the trading opportunities I see for now. But I guess before the market opens at 8:30 Chicago time, I wouldn't risk any trade by now. So I'm gonna switch on the recording again once one of these opportunities are arising. Just to be sure, I'm gonna make my little marker, put my little marker here, so the marker tells me when it actually goes to those levels. Okay, then see you later in case there's any trade opportunity. So by now we see the market is moving out of that area. Now we still have 7 minutes to go for the until the opening. But as a learning of my last trading days, I think I should not trade
Point of interest reached.
when the candle is still developing, so I need to finish. The candle need to finish. So I'm just gonna waiting. I'm gonna sit on my ass
Point of
and
interest
wait.
reached.
So that actually, where's my little helper here? Uh, that
Point of interest
is
reached.
this one here. Go on.
Point of interest reached. Point of interest reached.
So, but this one should not
Point
be
of interest reached.
this. The take profit is 100 and the stop loss is 20. And that one would be a short in that case if you want to trade into the so here is now the big question. Does the market follow through or go back into the range?
Order
So
filled,
I'm
order placed.
going into that trade, even though I said I will not do, and
Order
I'm
cancelled, order
probably
placed.
a little bit late into that trade because I wanted to start actually in here at this point. But and I would go in the middle of the range. I would go out. So let's see how the market is moving. It touched the middle of the range, and now it's 4 minutes to go for the before the American market starts. I see buyers coming in, and I guess
Order cancelled.
close that trade because it's so close before the opening of the American market. Wouldn't be surprised that if that's a normal case now that it follows through with my initial idea, but I wouldn't risk anything. It was a kind of a stupid trade anyway, but it made me, at least it made me, I don't know, three ticks on a trade in the ES market on the 11th, short before the US opening. And now we're going to wait until the US market opens. And as it usually is, the market went through my initial stop target, which was the middle of the range, which would have been 7 ticks, but I only got 3. Nevertheless, I got my ticks. The maximum potential here of that trade was 16 ticks, but as we see here, um, at least I'm out of the trade because now it's short before the opening of the US. And I never trade the first 5 minutes in the opening of the US market. Just too risky and too unpredictable, if there's anything predictable in the market. So let's keep watching the opening. The market looks like it looks for some new space up there. It's retesting the
Point of interest reached.
range, and
Point of interest reached.
yeah, and it seems to be either rejecting the range,
Point of interest reached.
but we would need to look if the volume is really being
Point of interest reached.
moving up again.
Point of interest
Looks
reached.
more like volume is moving down.
Point of interest reached. Point of interest reached. Point of interest reached.
So we see a cumulative delta here, massive negative delta, massive selling,
Point of interest reached.
but the market is holding, the market is absorbing there. So once the buyers are stepping in here, then it looks more like a long setup so that the
Point of
market
interest reached.
gets actually fed up with the range and wants to move. If the buyers are just stepping in and the volume is
Point of
actually
interest
moving
reached.
up as well, then I'm inclined to go into the market, but only when it's really reaching outside of this high volume part here. At the moment it looks more like it goes back into the range
Point of
again.
interest reached. Point of interest reached. Point of interest reached. Point of interest reached.
So looking at the moves, the
Point of interest reached.
magnitude of move in the American Open, it's just hilarious. It's
Point of
just like,
interest reached.
I don't know, 20 ticks in the opening of the American market. So that looks the market like the market is really
Point of
not
interest
in the
reached.
mood of discovering new spheres here.
Point of interest reached. Point of interest reached.
It looks like the massive sellers here, they have won the battle. So they are pushing the price further down. If it now returns from the middle of that range, that's actually a good sign. In my experience, that middle of the range is often the bouncing area where the markets, I just adjusted here from here to, should adjust it to here, I guess. It's if you look at price action here and here, higher highs, higher lows, and then it could go up, but it looks like the market is feeling well in that little range there. So let's give it a little time. The cumulative delta here is massive. Down, we see here that buyers are stepping in, but they're absorbed. So let's pause the video for a second and let's jump back in once the market knows what it wants to do.
Point of interest reached.
So look, as buyers are stepping in.
Point of interest
If you look
reached.
at the delta here and the cumulative delta, I'm still not confident about jumping in right now. I still want to wait until the market really goes up here and
Point of
tests
interest
that
reached.
area again and then bounces back off. I don't want to speculate on a breakout here just because it's now tested the second time. See here, the market is getting back. And the POC of the day is in the middle of that range. If the market goes down here, tests this area, and then goes back, then I would feel inclined to trade along until the middle of the range. I'm not really confident at the moment to trade short. But I would definitely only trade range. There's no dynamic in the market here, which would allow me to, it would be maybe one if we see that one here again. Maybe that's what we had already before. What I'm actually looking out for at the moment is here, going back, market testing, and then going out here. Once I see the buyers jumping in that move here, then I'm in as well. Or the market goes out here, or then here once the sellers are jumping in, go here. Or if the market just goes here and then goes like quite fast back in again, then I would go with a stop limit order here. Or the same here, if the market just goes here and then fast back, then my stop limit order would be here. But then in that case, I would only trade until the middle of the range. I could trade until the end of the range, but yeah, why not? So the market is knocking at the door at the upper part of the range. It looks to me like the market wants to go out there. Look at the massive selling here. Yeah, it's in the middle of the range, so let's see what happens. I'm gonna switch on the recording again once I see something.
Point of interest reached.
So I'm switching on again here. Looks like the market has a little bit more dynamic now. It went from the midpoint of the range up in a relatively, for today's circumstances, relatively fast manner, and still snail speed, but relatively fast. And let's see how the market reacts at the edges. But it looks like that sellers are coming in again at the edges and pressing the market back into its range.
Point of interest reached.
Even looks like that my painting here of the range is a little bit too optimistic. It's more like this one here rather than on the outside. Look,
Point
it's
of
more
interest
like
reached.
that. So with that one, it's just about, I don't know, 10, 15 ticks, 17 ticks.
Point of interest reached.
Not necessarily an area where you want to get lost in a trade. Now it goes back into the range. Amazing. That's Tuesday, the 11th of November. Nothing at all. So I made 3 ticks today I guess I'm gonna call it a day. It's now, since I'm sitting in Asia, it's
Point of
already a
interest
quarter
reached.
to 11. And I guess, oh no, now it's,
Point of interest reached.
let's see what that one brings, if it brings anything, if it breaks out, if volume is getting
Point of interest reached.
outside of the range, um, and then testing back the
Point of interest
range as a
reached.
confirmation, then I'm in. If the market is
Point of
getting
interest
pushed back
reached.
again into the range, I guess I'm gonna call it a day and be happy with 3 ticks because it's the most successful day since I start recording. Imagine that.
Point of interest reached. Point of interest reached. Point of interest reached.
If you hear the point of interest reach sound in the background, that is actually something I configured for that rectangle here. If it is reaching that border, then it is making exactly that sound. So the market went back into the center relatively fast to the lower end, but now
Point of interest reached.
back towards the center again. Cumulative delta seemed to be a little bit more passionate about going short. Since the cumulative delta is looking so steep down here, I would not, at the moment, I guess I wouldn't go into that range again. So let's see how it is behaving on the outer edge here. Is the market pulling through? Okay, it's relatively fast. I guess that's more stop losses. But in case the market goes up here and goes bouncing back again, then I guess I'm gonna go in because is it enough to go short, or was it just a way of the market makers to get some energy from here and then a boost back up there? Or do we take this one here as a test of the range? Let's see how far it goes. If it tests the POC here of that candle. No, no, I wouldn't go short here. Reason being for me at the moment that the demand index is quite low here, and it is moving into the wrong direction. There's a divergence between the demand index and the market at the moment. The demand index shows more towards going up. The market is not moving today. It's just, okay, I'll call it a day. 25 minutes of video for 3 takes. Enjoy the rest of your day. This is Trader Jan, trying to get profitable and be happy with 3 takes in a day. Now something is happening here. It looks like that's the range here got tested, but the market has rejected that one, and there is a short potential.
Point of interest reached. Point of interest reached.
Oh, now it looks more like the market goes in, but there's the
Point
daily
of interest
pop
reached.
there. And the delta is positive and the cumulative delta is increasing. So it looks like the market is actually pushing through that range.
Point of interest reached.
And if the momentum is keeping up and it's testing that range again there, and the buyers are keep going in, then I'm in that trade. So now it gets out of that range. What I want to see now is a retracement towards the range. If that one wasn't, that the pullback here wasn't a retracement yet. So let's see what happens now if the volume really goes back and then into the range, or does it move up with proper support from aggressive buyers? There was volume here outside of that range, which is a good sign, but it could be functioning as a block as well as a roadblock for the market to move higher. Oops, now here to get my full support of my trading analyzer. Then so aggressive buyers are in.
Order filled. Order placed.
Yeah, sure. And I'm still again not waiting for my for the finishing of the candle, and the market goes against me. So the goal would be that range here.
Order cancelled. Order placed.
There's volume collecting up here, so it's accumulating. There is a certain chance that there will be more volume up here. There's pretty much a low. Let's find out if that one is of low interest. So the market could bounce back there, or if the market likes to move there. Looks like market does not yet want to go there. Now, what could happen now is that the range is being retested. My chance gonna be if that one is the range is holding and pushing the market back up. That would be it. There was a high speed, at a high candle here, a candle with high delta, high speed of a delta per second, and that one was actually, let me go back here. That one was, yeah, positive delta. So aggressive buyers pushing that market out there. So here we see volume is coming in. Market is hopefully happy with that one and goes back up there where it came from. So this was the retracement I was talking about before. I should have waited for that one here. And then, like in theory, what I said before, should have followed my own advice. Then only when the buyers are coming in here,
Point of
going into
interest
the
reached.
market. Yeah. Let's see. Is that the move which could save my trade? Buyers are in. Wanting to test it again? No, you don't need to. I'm okay. One-time testing is okay, La. But classic market behaving would be, okay, I bounce a little bit back in there and then I'm gonna make my move. Because everybody who stepped in here, they put their stop loss here somewhere where actually my stop loss is. And then somebody gonna push it down because that's, if you look at a massive positive delta here and the market's still not going up, there is somebody pushing it down. There are passive sellers which are pushing it down. I guess they want to grasp a little bit more liquidity down there. It takes too long. With all the aggressive buying, with all the positive delta, it takes too long. The market is being pushed down.
Point of interest reached.
So
Stop filled.
my stop has been filled, and probably not only mine. So if that one is pushing up now, I'm in again. So that's minus 20 ticks, second trade.
Point of interest reached. Point of interest reached. Point of interest reached.
Despite positive delta,
Point of interest
the
reached.
market is pushing down, and that is a sign that somebody wants to have more liquidity. More liquidity. I need more and more, more, more. Was it one of these first move, wrong move kind of things? My might well be, but I'm not so certain about that one. It's too slow. Too slow. Usually those liquidity grabs, they go very fast. That one was a really an intense upwards move. But now sellers
Point of interest reached.
are coming in. Let's see if the active buyers are taking over at some point or not.
Point of interest reached. 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 Point of interest reached.
Now that is a proper move to the downside now. Who would have thought that one? Probably the professionals here, not me. Do I trust my location here?
Order filled. Order
Yeah,
placed.
I do trust my location here. And I've seen lots of buyers jumping in. It is a big move, so not uncertain that the move will not last. Let me put my 50% retracement. That's at the POC of the day. So if that one goes until that level, then
Order cancelled. Order
and there's
placed.
no pressure to the downside, then I'm
Point
inclined
of
to
interest
stay
reached.
in that trade. At the moment, there
Point of
is
interest reached.
some movement against my trade. I need to give it a bit time and space, right? That's all I know that, but if it runs against me and I was in 17 ticks and plus, which is exactly my minus number right now, then sure, I'm getting nervous and angry at myself that I should have gone out of that trade in that moment. But yeah, maybe it's just a short
Point of interest
retracement,
reached.
but the market itself maybe wants to push up because in overall
Point
the
of interest
market
reached.
tendency is long. Um,
Point of interest reached.
So let's see what the second attempt
Point of
to
interest
make
reached.
into that volume zone here and
Point of
breaking
interest
through the
reached.
50% retracement limit, what that one would take.
Point of interest reached.
Since I am now, no, demand indexes on my sides, positive delta, cumulative delta is all looking not too bad now. It has been a little bit of a rough move. Sudden move down. So is the market retesting that area again? That's the big question now. Market is kind of playing around here, going up and down and up and down. Cumulative deltas on my side. Aggressive buyers are in there. Demand index, not really convincing. Yeah, those trades where the market is around the entry point. A little bit annoying. But cumulative deltas or aggressive buyers are trying their best. So as long as those aggressive buyers are on my side, I'm feeling okay. Even though now in that candle, that does not look too good. Do I want too much? Would those 10, 20 ticks, would they have been enough? And I would have called it a day. 17 ticks here, that would have equalized my loss so far. Am I asking too much? Market is pushing down and aggressive sellers are coming in. Now would be the moment to exit the trade, I guess. Yesterday I had those moments where I exited the trade at chickened out, but this time I'm gonna keep trusting my 20 tick stop loss and that the area which was high volume node here, that this one is actually holding. Here in the chart with red part, you see where the stop loss is here, 20 ticks at 10% of my account. I put my account size in $2,500. So that would be $250 in the ES market. Market pushes further down. That is annoying. So this would be the level. If it reaches lower than the one from before, then
Stop
and
filled.
it's like if I look at the cumulative delta here. So that was it. Do I try a second entry based on the demand index, which has a divergence here? I would say
Order
so.
filled. Order placed.
Yes. I don't trust that down move, even though it's kind of like lower, 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 higher, lower, low. Looks more like another try of myself to bet against the market. But I see as well there's a divergence in the demand index. Cumulative delta is definitely not on my side. The only one on my side at the moment is hope and cumulative delta. And my range here. So it pushes further down. And it pushes and it pushes. Negative delta. Selling pressure. Lower high, lower low. All against me. And I'm here betting against the world. I see demand index pushing up. I see delta getting aggressive buyers pushing in. But how far can they go? And here, I did not really. I remember I said when the market goes back to the 50%, and then there's a likelihood it pushes back, that I'm gonna go out of the trade. I should have gone out of the trade here at this closing candle, but I didn't do it. I guess the ideas are not bad I have, but I should actually do what I say.
Stop filled.
And the market goes down as well. That was a stubborn move on my side. Stubborn move. Yeah, price action was obvious, but a short-term price action was obvious. Lower low, lower high. No, that's lower low here, lower high here, and then now it's a lower low is being built. That was the short-term price action was obvious. The long-term direction was long, and I was hoping for long, but against the short-term price action, so I should actually wait. Now, not jumping into a trade right away, but wait until the market goes above that one here, and I could bet the market now goes somewhere and should break that area here, build a higher low, and then getting in. I'm sure if I would go short now, the market would go long. Maybe I should hedge until it's obvious what's happening, and then closing the hedging part. Okay, so I'm gonna stop the recording here. That was a trade, or that was actually that were a couple of trades. I think those were 1, 2, 3 trades against me with 60 ticks loss, 20 ticks each, where I was betting on a long, and I could have made my 18 ticks going out there to make sure we at least close the day in and break even, but no, I didn't follow through with my idea here that the retracel to 50% could confirm short trend, and now whatever the market does now, probably long, but I need to imagine you go in the trade here, being stopped out here, and 4 more ticks break even, 4 more ticks stop loss would have saved you. Anyhow, closing that day, minus 56 ticks for the whole day. And then I guess see you again tomorrow with some new learnings. Ciao, ciao.